Woman at the center of a viral video who claimed a man threw a brick at her head because she would not give him her phone number is now wanted by Houston police. This story got national attention after that woman live streamed what she claimed was the aftermath on Instagram and started a GoFundMe. Only KPRC2's Bryce Newberry is talking with the prosecutor on this case tonight. He joins us live near the Galleria with the latest. Bryce.
Daniela, Houston police got called to this street in September, and when they arrived, the woman seen in that viral video told them that an Uber driver threw a brick at her head and then tried to kidnap her. But tonight, she has become the focus of this criminal investigation because Houston police say the surveillance footage captured by cameras on this street doesn't match her story.
Yo, this man just hit me in my face with a brick, and all these black men just watched.
This video with more than 1 million likes on the Shade Room's Instagram page captured the moments after what appeared to be a brutal attack in West Houston.
Y'all gonna let a man hit me in my face?
The woman is 33-year-old Rhoda Osman.
What have I ever done to anybody in my life to deserve this?
Seen here in tears in a hospital gown.
She told the detective that responded that she was hit in the head with a brick after she refused to give her phone number to a guy on the street.
And was that verified by any of the evidence that detectives looked at?
No, that was not verified.
Harris County prosecutor Keith Houston says surveillance videos from that early September morning show Osman hitting a man first.
So she's the one she was the aggressor?
She was the aggressor, yes.
And it was a water bottle that hit her, not a brick?
He did have a water bottle in his hand, and we think that's what left the mark.
According to court documents, she asked someone else to launch this GoFundMe for her recovery, raising more than $42,000. But as the story went viral, a blogger on TikTok called police, alerting them to this 2020 GoFundMe, which claimed a vicious assault by a security guard in Minneapolis.
Detective Thornton verified with Minneapolis police that there was no assault done at that time. It was completely fictional.
Prosecutors allege theft by deception and believe she would have received all that money had the campaign not been shut down.
The violence that I have suffered since September 3rd is just unbelievable. I can't even believe I'm here. They try to leave me for dead.
In an Instagram story posted Wednesday, Osman addressed those who have doubted her.
I actually have things going on in my life. I actually have real ways to make money. I don't have to get a GoFundMe for money. I actually can earn income because I'm actually educated and I actually am talented.
And tonight, a spokesperson for GoFundMe telling KPRC2 GoFundMe has zero tolerance for the misuse of our platform. The fundraiser has been removed from the platform. All donors have been refunded, and Rhoda Osman has been banned from using the platform for any future fundraisers. Osman did not respond when I reached out to her on Instagram this evening. Tonight, she is wanted here in Harris County on that theft charge. Anyone with information on her whereabouts can report that to Houston police. We're live near the Galleria. I'm Bryce Newberry, KPRC 2 News.
All right, Bryce, thank you. Let's shift.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo-Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus a so-called black man, a brick-faced liar, a brick-faced liar. And this is in response to the video that you just seen, from an incident that happened a few months ago back in September of a lady that allegedly claimed that she got hit in the face with a brick from a man who assaulted her. Is coming out to be found a lie, okay? It's coming out to be found that she was the aggressor, and not only did she not more than likely get hit by a brick, but she has a history of making these claims. She falsely acclaimed a security guard of, attacking her, which was found out to be false as well. And on top of that, she had started a GoFundMe account for that as well. So this is the second incident that we have, records of. So the first incident was for medical bills, and this one is in the same likeness of that, where she funded close to $47,000 over medical bills. Okay, so the brick-faced liar. All right, she was, according to the cameras, found to be the aggressor. She engaged in altercation with the Uber driver, and it was found that, you know, more than likely it was a bottle that hit her. So, you know, that brick, who knows where that came from, if it even came from a brick, okay? So this is Ecclesiastes 7 and 8, and it reads, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Right. So don't be so quick to jump to a conclusion without hearing the whole matter, because you never know exactly what side of the story, you know, you have to hear in order to make a, you know, reasonable decision. Because a lot of these people were influenced by her story and seeing her face and jump to, you know, conclusions that she was in the right, okay? That the other party was in the wrong. And come to find out, she has a history of making these, you know, bold and false claims, okay? Not only in this incident, but in the one prior where she was accused of, you know, falsely accusing a security guard of attacking her, which found out to be false, okay? So you have to be aware when you jump into matters of this magnitude, not to jump to, you know, a conclusion right away, because these type of situations is going to get a lot of Jakes caught up once Jacob's trouble hit at its high and in the midst, in the highest of its point, when it reaches its crescendo. Going after a woman that you have nothing to do with and jumping into a business that you don't have anything to do with, not knowing both sides of the story, is going to get a lot of Jakes caught up in that, you know, save a type of mentality, okay? Now, I didn't say the word, you know, the Gardner tool for a specific reason, but you know the saying, save a HO, okay? And a lot of Jakes gonna get caught up in that, man, because, you know, that chivalry spirit is dead, and you can thank feminism to that, because feminism killed that chivalry, okay? Women are quick to ask, well, where's the chivalry at? Well, you can attribute that to feminism, okay? Women's, like she said when she first came out, where are all the black dudes at, okay? You women are speaking out both sides of your mouth. On one side, you're saying you independent and you don't need a nigga, but then on the other side, you asking where the black man at. So you see how double-minded, you know, females are. That's why they can't be left to their own, you know, understanding. That's why they need somebody over them, a leader, a man, okay? This is the confusion that you get here in Babylon, all right? So let's read that again, Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. And a lot of these people who came to her conclusion were proud in spirit. You know, oh, she's a lady, she should never been, you know, harmed and hurt. No, man, you have to be patient in the spirit, because these women today, they are mischievous, man. They are misleading, okay? And they quick to say, don't judge me about how I look. You know, you going out with, you know, scandalous, with your breasts hanging all out, dressing promiscuous, you know, skirt all the way up to your private parts. You know, you're putting yourself out like that. And then when things go awry, you got the nerve to say, why didn't somebody step in and help? Okay, you asking for that attention, and you gonna get that attention, okay? So, you know, you young brothers out there, and Jake in general, man, be mindful of these type of incidents, because when Jacob's trouble hit and it's in the midst, you know, these are incidents that's gonna get a lot of brothers caught up in those times, man, trying to come to the rescue of a savior, all right? So be very mindful of these things, man, because you don't know both sides of the story. You don't know exactly who is the aggressor and who wasn't. You just coming from the point of view that you see a damsel in distress and you feel that you want to jump in and save her, okay? When that's going to get a lot of brothers caught up in these times that we getting ready to come into, okay? So be mindful of these things, all right? Let's go into the Apocrypha and let's get an account on a few of these incidents, all right? Give me 1 second to pull it up. Okay, we in the book of Sirach, also known as the Ecclesiasticus and the Apocrypha, and we in chapter 26, and this whole chapter is good, and we're going to jump down to verse 5. And it says, there be 3 things that my heart feareth, and for the 4th I was sore afraid. And your heart, speaking of your mind, the slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. All these are worse than death. Right. And what did you see when she went live in the city on her social media accounts? You see an unruly multitude quick to come to her defense, saying she was in the right, and the dude that they didn't even know who the dude was, allegedly, who jumped and hit her in the face with a brick, was in the wrong. And not only that, but the black man standing around her didn't help him or didn't help her, was in the wrong. Okay? See? And this is what, you know, the author of Sirach, which is Yahushua, but not Yahushua, Lord and Savior, but he's reiterating the principle that what? There be 3 things that my heart feareth, and for the 4th I was so afraid, the slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude. And that's what you got on all her social media sites. Look at all those, you know, black, I ain't gonna say the word, but you know, ninjas, you know, who standing around her, didn't help her, you know, didn't come to her rescue, you know, didn't see if she was all right. You know, no, man. And it's rightfully so. Now that we see, you know, the ending of the conclusion, okay? It says, I was so afraid, the slander of a city, the gathering together of an unruly multitude, and a false accusation. And she falsely accused the accusation of her being, you know, hit in the face with a brick, and the black man not coming to her rescue, okay? When all the while she was the aggressor. She engaged the confrontation. She hit the Uber driver and got the nerve to ask, you know, the black man standing around her, why didn't they come to her aid when she got hit, okay? You can't have it both ways. You can't hit somebody and then turn around and ask somebody to, you know, come to your aid, okay? If you're going to be and play the role of the man, play the role of the man. You know, take care of business all by yourself. You want to go out, you want to look and dress scandalous and scatless and promiscuous, and when you get the attention that you're looking for and you don't want to receive that attention and the, you know, advances that come along with it, you got to stand on business, okay? You want to be the independent woman, the strong black woman, you know, go out and do your thing and don't need a man. Then don't need a man when it's time to, you know, have somebody come to your defense, okay? Stand on business all the way through, okay? Don't be talking out both sides of your mouth how you want to be independent, but then on the same side, on the other side of your mouth, you saying you want somebody to stand up for you. You want a black man to stand up for you. No, you can't have it both ways, okay? Either you're going to be dependent and depend on yourself, or you're going to fall in line and get behind the man, okay? But these days are coming to an end where you're going to be able to, you know, say these type of things and not have repercussions, because the day is coming to an end where you're going to stop saying you don't need a man, because once Jacob's trouble fully hits, you're going to need a man. And if it ain't the man of the Most High, you know, one of the elect, you're going to be shit out of luck, man. Okay? And it says, in a false accusation, all these are worse than death. But a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. Right. And that's what she did. She scourged with her tongue. She put and brought out false accusations. Okay. She withheld information. One, that she was the aggressor, and two, that, you know, the attitude that she's coming in, that proud and boastful attitude, that loud obnoxious attitude, you know, just doing it for the gram, doing it for social media, you know, being loud for no particular reason, okay? Verse 7, An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that have hold of her is as though he held a scorpion. You know, and for the most part, that's all you're going to get here in this kingdom is an evil wife. And this chapter, pursuant to a good wife, you know, look forward for that in the kingdom, okay? In this kingdom, at best, you're going to get a scorpion, okay? At worst, a plague of the heart, okay? And that's in that's part of prophecy, okay? We're going to get that scripture too now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, so it says, but a grief of heart and sorrow is a woman that is jealous over another woman, and a scourge of the tongue which communicateth with all. Okay, and that's what she did with that tongue. She communicated with all. She got on her social media sites. She blasted the black man for not coming to her rescue, and how they just standing around looking at her, you know, and all the while, you know, she engaged in, she, you know, was the aggressor. Okay, instead of being, you know, shamefaced and, you know, just keeping quiet, she wanna, you know, uproar and be loud and obnoxious. Okay, so verse 8 says, a drunken woman and a gatter abroad causes great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. And you can see she came in the, you know, spirit of a drunken woman, you know, out there loud, rambunctious, you know, just talking, her mouth just loud, just for no particular reason. Okay, even in the hospital where she's supposed to be quiet and supposed to be getting her bearings together, she on social media getting loud, putting this up for everybody to see, you know, and just out of order. Okay. So this is verse 8, and we're going to read it one more time. A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causes great anger, and she will not cover her own shame. Right. So in the midst of being shameful, seeing she got a hematoma on the side of her face, you know, instead of being shamed, she out there broadcasting it for the whole world to see, man. You see, this is the type of nonsense that you have to deal with here in Babylon, man. Vanity, okay? Instead of being somewhere, you know, quiet, somewhere, you know, behind closed doors, not broadcasting your business out for the public to see, you know, she out on the street showing it. She in the hospital showing it. You know, this is just the mindset of the modern day westernized woman, okay? Verse 9 says, the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. Don't judge me by the way I look. You know, I could have my breasts hanging out, my butt showing, you know, my skirt all the way up to my private parts, you know. It says what? The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids, right? So if you dressing like a whore, you can be perceived to be taken as a whore, okay? If you don't want to be dressed, if you don't want to be perceived as a whore, don't dress like one, okay? You bring an unnecessary attention on yourself, all right? So let's read that again. Verse 9 says what? The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and in her eyelids, right? And you go to her social media page, you see her twerking with her butt sticking all up, showing her butt, man. And not just her, just using her for an example, because you have all different types of women that's dressing scandalous and putting themselves out there on these social media platforms. But little do they know, these times are coming to an end. They're broadcasting their merchandise and putting it out there on sale. And not just sale, but just in general, for once, you know, Jacob's trouble hit and these, you know, these M-Law troops come in, they gonna have their first pick of you women that's putting yourself out there on Broad Street, on Front Street. They know exactly where you at, okay? And they gonna come in and get what they want, all right? And we gonna see in them days, do you need a man, or are you gonna stand on business and be independent, all right? So the days coming that we gonna see whether or not you women that's claiming being independent, are y'all gonna stand on business, okay? So verse 10 says, if thy daughters be shameless, keep her in straitly. lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Right. So if you got a shameless daughter, keep her that way. You know, if not, she gonna what? She gonna abuse herself through overmuch liberty. And that's all you get here in this society is be free, be liberty. That's under that feminist, vibration. I don't need a man. I can stand on my own. I can be free. I can be set free. I'm liberty. That's that feminist vibration that is putting out. It's giving young girls the ability to be free and pumping that nonsense in their head. Okay, they don't need a man. They just as good as a man. They just as equal as a man. Okay, when the Most High didn't make them to be a man. Okay, He gave them that nourishing spirit. Okay, for them to try to put on the spirit of a man is going on. That's why it tells you a woman shouldn't wear what that pertains to a man, because it puts them in that spirit, that vibration that they are a man. Okay, you women wearing these, wearing pants like a man, getting these haircuts like a man, thinking you a man. That's the vibration and the spirit that you putting on. That's why it's imperative that you keep in these, these laws, statutes, commandments, and judgments, because it lets you know for these particular reasons. All right. So it says, if thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straitly, lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty. Okay. And in Esau Edom society, they're going to oppose what the laws of the Most High gives us. Okay. The laws of the Most High says you should not wear what that pertaining to a man, knowing that we're talking about pants. The wicked is going to get you to wear pants, okay? Because it's giving you that liberty that you don't need to, listen to what the word says, but you can do whatever you want to say. And here's an outlet to that by giving you pants. That's why the serpent went after Eve and beguiled Eve, because she's the weaker of the vessel, okay? So all this independent, man, this is over much liberty, okay? And you being set up. And when Jacob's trouble really hits, you're going to see that you need a man, but you ain't going to find one. Or at least one of the Most High, the elect, okay? So verse 11 says, watch over an impudent eye, one that disrespects, doesn't have respect for person, and marvel not if she trespass against thee. Right. So don't marvel if she trespass against thee, man. We know what time we in. We are under this wicked rulership. So don't marvel if she trespass against thee. 12 says, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain. Right. So this is going into explicit detail. You see these photos of these women on these social media websites with their tongue hanging out and their mouth open, wide open, like they want something to come in there, like they thirsty for something. Okay, this is all the countenance that goes on of being over much liberty. Okay, that's why it says keep your daughter shameless and straightly. Okay, but in this wicked society, you can't do that. Okay, you got all type of oppositions coming from you on every side. And if you don't have this truth, you're going to fall victim to that. So this says she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain. Right, showing you that she wants that fountain. And we know what that fountain is that comes out of that faucet, okay? I'm not going to say it and get too explicit, but and just in general, she going to be loud just like you seen this lady loud. Well, why are y'all black men standing there and didn't do nothing? Man, just because of that, you too loud, okay? But getting back to verse 12, she will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain, right? And you know what that's implying? And drink of every water near her, right? This is going into her whoredom. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. Right. This is her being promiscuous. Opening her what? Opening her quiver against every arrow. Okay. This is her exploring her liberty, her freedom, her whoredom, sleeping with every man, every arrow. Okay. Oh, I can do it if a man can do it. See, this is the mindset that Esau Edom has empowered the women of this Western society with, okay? Speaking of the so-called Black, Latino, and Native American women in particular, okay? they believe that they have the same abilities that a man has, okay? And they lose their value because of that. All right? So this is 12. Let's read 12 again. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he have found a fountain. We know what that's implying. And drink of every water near her. By her hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow. This is her being a straight up whore, you know, opening up her quiver for every arrow. And we know what those arrows represent in this verse, okay? The man phallus. 13, the grace of a wife delighteth her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bones. Right, and you're not going to really get a good wife on this side of the kingdom, okay? In this kingdom, you're going to get a scorpion for the most part. Now, if you bless, you know, the Most High send you, you know, a woman that's bearable, you know, which you can bear and get along with. But for the most part, you know, look for scorpions on this side, okay? Be mindful of that, all right? Now, this is going into Ecclesiasticus 25. And let's jump there, okay? And let's see if this is the... It's 25. This is Ecclesiasticus 25 and verse 13. And it reads, give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. Right. And that's what you're going to pretty much get here in this society, is the wickedness of a woman, man, because she's been, you know, over much liberty, okay? So she's going to be loud. Even when she's wrong, she's going to think she's right. And she's going to broadcast it and put it out there for the whole world to see, and never be culpable or take accountability when she's right. That's why you see her at the end of the video where she says, I got a job. You think I need, you know, this GoMe fund? I work. I'm an educated woman. See, that's the proudness of the wickedness of the woman, okay? Even when she's wrong, she's right in her mind. She's never going to be held accountable for her actions, okay? Here it is, she done made false accusations in the past and didn't stand up for it. And now she's been proven to be wrong again in this incident, and she's still sticking to her story all the way up until the end. You know, even though the GoFundMe has taken her off of their platform and refunded the individuals their money, she still thinks in some way, shape, or form that she was right, okay? And she didn't need the GoFundMe account, okay? If that would have been the case, you don't think the GoFundMe platform would have did their research diligently and let her, you know, kept the money, okay? No, there was found something that was, you know, inaccurate in her, you know, account or her story that they gave that couldn't be held up. Okay, so they refunded the people their money and they took her off her platform. But, you know, true to character, you know, the woman, the wicked woman, the scorpion of this, you know, this kingdom is going, you know, say that she's innocent all the way up until the end. And that's just the vibration that they have, okay? So Ecclesiasticus 25 and 13 says, give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. So, you know, stay mindful, man, because when we in the height of Jacob's trouble, you're going to see brothers going to be getting taken out left and right because they're going to be falling for a haughty woman, believing that she's, you know, that damsel in distress, man. You know, what we started off with, Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. Better is the end of the thing than the beginning, okay? You have to see the whole conclusion, the whole matter, before you jump to conclusion, man. And you trying to jump to a wicked woman's, you know, aid because you thinking she's a damsel in distress and not knowing the whole conclusion can get you caught up in some unnecessary, you know, stuff you don't need to be in. So just be mindful of these things. So when you be presented in these situations, you can think clearly, okay? And not emotionally, all right? So we're going to go ahead and close out in 1 Peter 5 and 8. We're going to take it from there. 1 Peter 5 and verse 8. And it reads, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. You know, and the woman could be an adversary as well. So you men, you have to be sober and be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, you know, the deceiver, you know, in this particular case, the woman, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour, or she may devour, because she, you know, played on a lot of individuals' emotions and had them pitying her, okay? And some still do, even though she's found in the right, they ain't gonna still say that she shouldn't have got hit in the face. She's a woman, but yet she's loud and boisterous and rambunctious and making all this noise. That ain't a woman. Only by nature is she a woman, but not by, you know, how she carries herself. Okay, these type of individuals are gonna get purged here in Babylon, man. They're not gonna make it into the kingdom, you know, dressing like that and having that type of mindset. If they can't get their stuff together on this side, they're gonna have to, you know, wait and come back into the kingdom. Okay, so be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. Okay, so with that being said, I pray someone was edified, and until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We're almost home. Shalom.